We all want food that's healthy, gorgeous and super quick. So I'm going to show you a whole new way to cook. Amazing meals that you can do in just 15 minutes. Time-saving tricks and multitasking to the max. You can create magic in the kitchen. We're talking big flavours, fast. And these are great meals without the guilt. Balanced, tasty and good for you. Healthy food that you can eat every day. It's delicious, nutritious, super fast food. Today, super stylish, crispy-skinned Asian salmon and an awesome Greek salad with amazing feta parcels. Bright, delicious, and listen to the crunch of this filo. Welcome to the 15-minute meal mindset. If you think you haven't got time to cook, then think again. First up, crispy-skinned Asian salmon to make your mouth water. I love this dish. You know, the fish is gorgeous. Putting that crispy skin on the fish is the thing that really lifts it, and the miso dressing, just bringing the whole thing together. It's a great, great dinner. Colourful, full of life, and you're going to be really proud when you make it. The textures in this dish are so Moorish. Delicate pieces of salmon with super crispy, crunchy skin and sticky coconut and lemon rice. Plus, an amazing multi-layered miso dressing that works wonders on any greens. So, so good. Posh nosh for 4 in just 15 minutes. I've got 4 beautiful 120-gram pieces of fillet of salmon here. Now, we want to flavour them. We want to season them first. So I'm going to season this board here with lovely sea salt. Then a little pepper, so basic seasoning, and then a little surprise. The surprise is this. A good old tea bag of green tea. Yes, green tea bag. So what I'm going to do is just rip the tea bag open. It's got a wonderful savoury flavour. It's kind of got like the savouriness of oregano or any good herb, but there's this sort of fresh, frankly, tea-like quality. So just roll that salmon over. It's nice and easy to do. And you can just encrust that salmon in those beautiful flavours. You can be fairly sort of firm with it and just kind of, you want to basically mow up all of those lovely seasonings like that. So once you've done that, I've got a pan on a medium heat. I'm going to put a tiny amount of oil in this pan, not even half a tablespoon goes in. And we're just going to use that to welcome the salmon. I'm putting it down skin side, by the way. And I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm going to try and cook that fish for about 50% of its time on the skin, and then just flick it on the other 3 sides. So there we go. Fish in. Already, I can smell that green tea. Now the salmon's on, don't be tempted to touch it. Just leave the skin to go crispy while you start the rice. I want to show you a wicked, wicked little recipe for incredible, fragrant coconut and lemon rice. Really gorgeous. So I've got my coconut milk, and I've got some basmati rice, and this is going to be light and fluffy. So first things first, for 4 people, this tin, right, is going to go into my pan, but also it's our measuring jug. So instead of having to weigh stuff out or just throw stuff in and get random cooked rice and waste stuff, I'm just going to open this tin here. Also, this is reduced fat coconut milk, which is a really good thing. I'm going to go straight in there into a pot, and then I'm going to get my basmati rice. And the nice thing about this is just fill up the tin with the rice. This is about 300 grams, guys, of rice. Fill it to the top, and that goes in to our coconut, like that. And then we go in with a kettle, fill it up. So it's 1 tin of coconut milk, 1 tin of rice, 1 tin of water, and obviously if you feel it's hot, use a tea towel to pick this up. 2 parts liquid to 1 part rice. That is the equation that will give you heavenly rice, okay? Season it with salt, get a lemon, and I'm just going to slice it like that. I'll just take the end off so it sits in our little home that we've created here. and I'm just going to pop this lid on top, and that's going to chug away. Happy, happy days.
So the rice is on, the salmon's on. Next job, a memorable miso dressing.
Miso is a Japanese fermented soya and kind of herby extract. It's like a paste. And they would use it as we would, say, a chicken stock cube, or maybe bovril in the old days for a drink. Or, you know, it's kind of like a clear consomme or clear broth. But because it's fermented soya, it's big flavour, and it's clean, and it makes you kind of feel good. You know, you can get it everywhere now. We're loving our sushi and Japanese food, and this is a new little ingredient that we can now use in different ways. So the paste's in there, so we've got big flavour already. Then I'm going to hit it up with some chilli, about half a fresh chilli. We want a bit of attitude in there for our veggies. And then I'm going to go in there with about half a bunch of coriander, so about this sort of much. The stalks are good, the leaves are good. We'll whack that in there as well. Then I'm going to go in there with some honey, some sweetness. So you want about a teaspoon of honey, heaped, going in there. Job's a good one. And then ginger. A little small thumb-sized piece of ginger. Just going to take off the outside skin with a few clanks of a knife. This little thumb-sized piece of ginger, you know, it's fragrant, it's hot, and it's going to really help to bring all these flavours together. And then I want the juice of that leftover half a lemon going in, so nice citrus going in there, really squeeze it out. And then last but not least, I want about 2 to 3 tablespoons of low-salt soy sauce, and then just a little splash of hot water. Whiz it up. Beautiful combinations. The miso just joins up all those fantastic flavours. Give it a little whiz. Oh, yee-hee-hee! Let's do our first turn on the fish here. I'm just going to grab it and turn it over. Beautiful. And you can see already we've got nice colour and crispiness in that skin. OK, in this pan, I'm going to pour in the rest of that boiling water from the kettle. You know, pan's hot, water's boiled. That's going to be thundering away straight away. Typical 15-minute meals. Asparagus, purple sprouting broccoli, sugar snap peas, pretty much all cook at the same time. We've got the green tender stem broccoli here, which are lovely. So we'll go in with that, like that. The purple sprouting broccoli. And then some sugar snap peas, or you could use mange too, all goes in. And we only want to give this, I reckon, 2 minutes of fierce boiling. Notice also that I put the stalks in first, so the stalks are going to get really pounded and those outer leaves get steamed, because the tops and the flowers do take a little bit less time than the stalks.
While the veg bubble away, I can go back to the salmon, and it's had about 7 minutes now. So after a final flick on each side, it's ready to come off.
I want to show you a little trick that I think you'll love. If I just get my knife under the skin here, right, here, it's nice, it's got a lovely natural sort of fat layer on the fish, and it beautifully comes off. And what you end up with, which is obvious, is a piece of skin. Look at that. And on this side, it's crispy and gnarly. Look at that. You almost see the daylight through there. Beautiful. But on this side, it's sort of soft. Right, we don't like that, okay? So what we're going to do is just quickly, you know, take these skins off. And sometimes they just peel off. Sometimes you need a little knife to get in there. What I want to do is make these like a cross between pork scratchings, kind of a packet of potato chips, and do you remember back in the old days, they had those things called scampi fries, I think they were called, right? So literally 30 seconds, you know, on this other side, makes that skin so incredibly crisp. So let's have a look at my veggies here. I love the fact these are getting cooked very quickly. They've only had a minute and a half, but they're boiling nice and fast. So it's serve-up time.
So drain the veg and lift the crispy skin out of the pan.
As they come off hot, they're sort of malleable, right? And then, as they cool down, they go crisp.
Then just pour out the miso dressing.
It's full of brightness and top-end flavours and real harmonies of flavour. That's actually what's setting off the whole meal.
Just lay the veg on top, gorgeous. Then the sweet, fragrant rice. Just give that hot, jammy lemon a good squeeze and serve. Flake the succulent salmon over the rice, and then, of course, that lovely crispy skin.
We've turned something that normally gets kicked to the curb into something that people are going to fight over. Really, really good.
Arrange them however you fancy. And to finish off, scatter with the fresh chilli, some coriander, and some pieces of lime.
And that, my friends, is a beautiful, tasty, modern, contemporary twist on beautiful, quick food. Let's be honest, if you came home to that, you'd be well chuffed, wouldn't you?
A really special Asian salmon feast in just 15 minutes.
Oh, soft salmon, rice, the salsa, the crispy skin. Oh, what a lovely way to eat fish. The skin. Can you hear how crunchy that is? That is a 15-minute meal classic right there.
Next,
Insanely good.
my big, fat, skinny Greek salad with feta filo parcels.
Oh, that's good. That is so good.
Now, my homage to the great Greek salad. And I've put a nice modern twist on it to make it really exciting. Plus, fabulous filo parcels filled with feta and spinach. Yum. Inspired by classic Greek pastry treats, my versions are light and gorgeous. A nutritious summery lunch or supper for 4, all in just 15 minutes. First job, my healthy twist on classic filo parcels.
So, the filo parcels often are full of cheese, calories through the roof. Yes, they're gorgeous. And what I want to do in 15-minute meals is, I want to make things quick. Get your pans on, get your oven on, get everything ready. But also, I really want you to have everyday nutritious, delicious meals that you can rely on, okay? So I've taken that old recipe and I've put my spin on it, and I'm really, really proud of it. So first up, I'm just going to cut a packet of feta in half. I'm only going to use 100 grams of feta, and between 4 people, that's all good, okay? Secondly, we're going to get good stuff in there. We're going to go in with a bag of spinach, 100 grams, all washed, ready and raring to go. Then chickpeas, absolutely gorgeous. I want to just drain some of those, get rid of all the juice that they come in. And so far, it's just nice, but we want to put attitude in there, so I'm going to use a little chilli and a little lemon zest. I'm going to get a fine grater, really important for getting zest off of things. 1.5 lemons. This is a big one. That's going to have incredible lemon flavour, but keep the mixture quite dry, which is good. I'll put the lemon there because we'll use it elsewhere. Also, a little chilli. This is like a sweet, hot cayenne. So 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon in there. And then all we got to do is just wazz this up.
This mix really works. We've only used half as much feta as most recipes, but the flavours are off the chart.
And then we've got our lovely mix here. Have a taste. Beautiful. You got the feta, the spinach, the lemon is just there, that little hum of heat. Happy. So, filo pastry. You can get it in all the supermarkets. Normally, it's in the freezer counter. When you work with it, you have to be quick, because as soon as it gets dry, it cracks up and starts breaking, and then you'll start getting upset. So what we want is to lay out 1 sheet of this filo. We're going to fold it in half like that. I want to get 1/4 of this lovely feta mix. It looks like about 2 heaped tablespoons going in there like that. And then what I want to do is, as this cooks, it expands, right? So you can put your little thumb in the middle so it's got somewhere to go. And also, I'm going to loosely pull together, and this is not chefy. Do not think there's any technique involved here. Just do a little Tom thumb pinch up the top here, like that. So really cute, really good fun.
Filo pastry's brilliant and crispy, and it's much healthier than regular pastry. All we need is 1 sheet per person. Plus, you don't need to brush it with melted butter. Like this, the filo will hold its shape and crispen up beautifully.
In here, I want a little tablespoon of olive oil. Give it a little shake around. It's already been on a medium heat, so it's got a bit of heat going on there. I want to kind of get the bottom of these pastries getting crisp. So we have a couple of minutes of that. As soon as you start hearing it do nice things, we're banging it in the oven. So we are in a very good place.
The parcels need just 2 to 3 minutes to go brown. So in the meantime, it's on to the modern Greek salad.
So we're going to go back into the processor with the slicer on sort of thick. Let me show you a lovely little tip for cucumber. Get a fork, right? And then I want you to sort of ram it really deeply, or as deep as you can be bothered, into a cucumber, right? And that is going to basically pierce and break that sort of green skin, and it's going to look pretty. Whack it on. Happy days. Then we're going to get our blade out and we're going to swap it for the fine blade. Most processors have a fine and a chunky blade. So we're going to go into fine blade and we are going to get a red onion. Take the outer skin off, just peel it back, and then on the fine slicer, we'll whack that in and we'll crack on. Now, I'm just going to stop there. Look, I can see some frying going on here. If I have a little look, I can see it's getting golden. I don't want to show you because I'll bust them. These are delicate. Whack these in the oven now. I've got the temperature at 220 degrees Celsius, about 425 Fahrenheit. Just cook them until they're golden and beautiful looking, and they'll be fantastic.
So now we've got about 8 minutes to finish the gorgeous Greek salad.
Look how delicate. You know, onions, be really careful with onions in any salad, right? Big old chunk of onion in a salad, don't think so, right? The next bit of the process is also really exciting. Get yourself a bowl. We're going to kind of create the dressing in this bowl, but at the same time as creating the dressing, we're also turning onions that are just raw into sort of semi-pickled, right? Go in with some salt. We're going to go in with lemon juice. We've used the zest in the filo, and we're going to use the acidity of the lemon juice itself. Use 1 or 2 lemons, depending on... These are lovely, big and juicy. Sometimes they're small and a bit stingy. So 1 or 2 lemons in there. We'll toss that up. Immediately, the onions go from being like, ugh, to like, oh, this is like, actually, they've got kind of a pickly sensation. The cucumbers love this sort of treatment as well. What they'd love even more is if I get my board over here, I start introducing some herbs. Now, in Cyprus, they often use coriander. And then in Greece, it can be often, you know, parsley or mint. But I love that kind of expression of the same salad, but just embracing beautiful things that are around them. And as far as mint's concerned, I'll just rip off some of those tender parts there, and I'll rip off some of that coriander there, and I'll just chop it up and get it straight in there. So we're going to create wonderful fragrance straight away. So we're going to go in with that chopped herbs, like that. You just know it's going to taste good, and then toss it again. And the flavours, they all start exchanging. So look at that. It looks like a beautiful picture already. Now things are going to get a little bit more unusual. I've got some black olives. Always buy olives with the stones in. Really, I mean, people that love food and know about food do not buy olives with the stones taken out because they taste of plastic. So I'm going to go in with about 10 olives. You don't need loads of olives for a salad. It's a gesture. It's a seasoning. I'm going to put them into a tablespoon of olive oil and slowly fry them. It's going to bring out a much more sort of perfumed flavour in the olives. Also, hot and cold is a nice thing. To go with it as well, I want to get some almonds in the story, which is definitely not classic, but I'm not complaining. Like, this is my version. And I'm going to give that a little shake, about 20 grams, go in like that. And if you can get some oregano, the regular stuff, or I just sort of dried the stuff that grew in my garden, and you can buy these in the supermarket as well, just a little bit of oregano, still in flour, but you can use the regular stuff, it's absolutely fine. So give it a shake and just slowly, keep an eye on it and slowly toast them up and get them gorgeous.
Just a few minutes in a hot pan and you'll be amazed how those flavours come to life. Now time to get busy with some lovely fresh tomatoes.
So we use some nice mixed tomatoes. As long as they're ripe, I really don't mind what you use. And I want you to sort of slice them up in different ways. So we'll slice some like this. You know, the big sort of beef-style tomatoes can be lovely. Big old slices of that. You know, maybe on the yellow one, we'll cut it in half and then across and then sort of into chunks. Maybe the green one, we'll sort of just hack up any old way and we'll just do random different things. You know, the cherry tomatoes, half them. You know, you can quarter them, but I want it to be really rustic and beautiful.
So lay the tomatoes over the platter and very simply slice up a romaine lettuce, lay it in the middle, top with the onion and cucumber mix, a few leaves of coriander, and a lovely drizzle of olive oil to dress it. Finally, sprinkle over those hot nuts and olives. Then we're ready for the moment of truth.
Let's have a little look. Oh, they're beautiful. Look at that. That is what we're looking for. It's crispy round here and golden on there.
One last Greek twist is to add a gorgeous drizzle of good honey.
And you might think it's weird, but the saltiness of the feta and the honey is insanely good. Then the perfect thing to go with these parcels is some yogurt. Now, instead of Greek yogurt, I'm going to use this zero-fat yogurt just to keep things a little bit lighter. You know, just do a little plop and a roll. Ah, look at that. Elegant, comforting, bright. You know, when the tomatoes are good in summer, make this salad.
A Greek feast in just 15 minutes.
Look at that. Bright, delicious, gorgeous. Really nice. And listen to the crunch of this filo. Whoa. So good. Absolutely delicious. Oh, that's good. That is so good.
You know what I mean? No man can win my love. The sweetness that I'm thinking of. We always hang in a buffalo stands. We do the dive every time we dance. I give you love, baby, not romance. I make you move, nothing left to chance. So don't you get fresh with me. I'm about it.